Well, this is Jared playing Shapes 2. Last time I was stuck on trying to put pins on the top of my setup. This is a little experimental pad, but I've got this shape here that I want to throw some pins on top of. And I've got some advice from Livy Ben, and I'm going to give that a try. And this is pretty much very different than the way I was thinking about this problem. Where were we over here? We'll see about this technique. The idea is to put too much stuff in from the bottom rather than trying to make pins on the top. Um, let's see. Let's try just connecting this in like that. That would give us... That's going to give us circles with a bunch of pins on, right? And then, okay. And then if I keep adding circles underneath, like, let's make a copy of this. I guess I can go up to the top floor, taking the circles that are, yeah, there are circles there. Let's have this go like that and try using that as the input. And then we'll want to do it again. So we'll take this guy, do a copy, and be like here. Okay. So yeah, I can, okay, yeah, I see. And then I keep doing it again, and let's just throw that there, I guess. And then we would take this guy, send that there. Ah, okay. Okay, see, I was thinking about I need to try to make a single shape that just has pins. And how do I strip that away and then throw those pins on top? It's not. Ah, right. Thank you for that. Brain was not working last time. I get it now. It's the exploring the layer limit. So you can have one, two, you can have four things. You can't have a fifth. But if you do, you're allowed to put a fifth on. But anything that gets thrown on top is stripped away. Okay. Um, then I need to think a little bit, and I'll be back, and we'll see if we can put our well, not put the pins on top, but orient this in such a way to make this whole thing work. So starters for this mission, I found another spot with circles. So I built a train system to load that at the back because this is going to be circles that's going to be on the bottom that's going to try to push everything up. Let's go bring this into the area. So we're going to have this train. I guess we could, wouldn't be any reason. Oh no, yeah, no, never mind. I want to have this train go pick up this shape over here. So this is actually all garbage now. Get rid of that. We'll have this track go here, and we want to do an interlaced load. Did I get rid of too much there? Hold on. Yeah, I should have kept that part of it. Now we're going to want to do an interlaced load at the bottom. So train load shape times 8 at the, no, the top. And have that go that way. We'll push our rail into that guy. Then we'll do some stacking. So stack times 8. Hold on. There, I think that should work like that. Get rid of that. Let's do our combine. So this is our train, no, belt compress. Then we will do the train load times 8 of shapes. That go that way. Get an engine for 8. And then I think we send this to the vortex. I might have our results that we need. Am I getting confused? That's the vortex there. That needs to go there, right? But what? Didn't I? I undid it. Whoops. Okay, I was too aggressive. Okay. Let's try this. Have that go like into there. And have that go there. So that is our vortex train. This is our... Oh, I have to change the direction. Do that up to there. There we go. Maybe just clean up that little section. And hopefully we have it. Let's go make sure, okay, circles are on the move. They're going to go into here, or we'll pick up the shape that we want to try to push up. Okay, so that star should actually be disappearing. I think Levy Ben was mentioning theory we don't even have to have that as stars. That could be, I guess, anything else. Slow, hoping this is going to go well. So this is going on top, right? This is not how I thought the solution was going to be. And then the circles are going to go on the bottom, and then, yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, I'll let that run and see if I can collect some research points. Notice the microphone getting a little bit scratchy, so I put it a little bit further away. Hopefully this is sounding better. So we are close. Now we have completed that. Okay, so let's see about building a minion. I'll go see where we want to do some shapes and clean up what we've got so far. So I found this shape here, which is pretty much exactly what we need for the under area of our minion. We just want to paint it blue, but just before I do paint it blue, I figured why don't we orient it everything such that it's pointing north. This is not pointing the right way, so we would need to do a counterclockwise turn in this case. So let's go counterclockwise, straight turn. Put in one here, 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 here. And here, here, get rid of that extra. And we'll load this onto a train. Well, if we want to do painting, it'll have to be loaded in the top. So a train load, the interlaced at the top. Push this a little bit back. And then we'll get all of these to go on to first connection. I'll be back when all the others are done. Just one more belt to go. Put that in there. Okay, so that's going to be your train. We've got a little... Oh, I didn't even notice this. There's blue right here. That is fantastic. So let's go to a paint liquid mine. We'll see if it's going to be easy to fit in 1, 2... No. All right. Not quite, but can I do anything to make it a little bit nicer? All right, I'll do some rearranging here and see what I can come up with. Okay, so I've got an odd-shaped one of these together now. Let's combine that like that. And we'll load that into a train here in a second, and I'll go do the same thing here. I'm guessing I'm gonna have the same problem. 1, 2, 3. Oh, nice. Okay, not the same problem there. So we're going to, let's say we load a train. So that's going to be a train with a liquid. We want to take in liquid 1, liquid 2. This go in like that. And then we'll do a liquid load 2, which is going to push this in like that. Get all these connected. So first of all, let's do the rail. So we're going to push this guy down there. Then we're going to push this into that. Then we can actually do the painting. But before we get there, let's push all these in there, that in there. Looks like I left myself enough room. And over here, we will do this. Okay, thankfully, I also left myself enough room here. Though I, in theory, could combine these. I like keeping them separate now. So let's do an engine, shape plus liquid. The trains are going to pick up the shapes, pick up half the liquid or fluid. We will do painting via the trains. That's going to bring this. So this is going to be our blue minions. That should be oriented, if I'm pointing north, should be oriented like this. I've got to, for the first phase of this, I'd actually already have the second phase. I got to cut off the bottom section, which means I need to do a cut. I can't remember. Let's let this run. I'll have some shapes to experiment with. Okay, we have not gotten very far. Why? Why? Oh, is that backward? Oh, shoot. Okay, I gotta try this again. So this is a load. This is the interlaced at the top. Okay, orange is the input. Does this fix our situation? There we go. So we're getting some shapes. We're getting a little blue, half our blue. The other half of our blue going in. We're getting our shapes in our blue. And we're getting the blue painted on this shape. Okay, so if I do a cut, I can't remember whether it's the east or I think it's the west half that gets removed. So I would want to do a counterclockwise and then a cut. Well, let me just run this, see what happens. So that's going to be platform. No, a turn counterclockwise. And then a cut. So that's under platform cut. Is that right? It does not seem right to me. The shape's going in. That's the right way. We're pointing north. And this is supposed to... What am I missing? No, that's the right shape. I'm just getting myself confused. All right, well, boom, 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 boom. And we'll do a belt to compress. Load that onto a train. So it's shape times 8. Let's grab ourselves an engine for 8. Send that towards the vortex, and we'll have our first part of our minion setup going. Where is Mr. Vortex? You're over here. That over there. Maybe scratch that little section. I can. Whoops, I took too much, didn't I? Okay, we'll see where we get with that. Something's wrong. There's pins underneath that thing, isn't there? Ah, yeah, of course. In this stage, is there... Oh. Okay, did not... This gets more complicated than I thought. Okay, so let's not worry about the next phase. Let's go back, unwind just a little bit. There was supposed to be essentially pin. If I want to do pinning right here, let's take all this stuff here, cut that, move that up one, and throw some pins on. Yeah. I got a separate one, don't I? Or no, pin push. Boom, 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 boom. I'll want to do a split here instead of a cut, but for now, this should at least do the first phase. I'm thinking. Do we? And there's the. I should have looked to see if I had green instead of running with that. Okay, there we go. Maybe things work a little better when I actually attach the terrain path to the vortex. So we've got that one done. Let's see about this next step. Let's take... Actually, yeah, I might want to continue to use this. So let's do this thing of cutting this, move it a little bit further back. Then we want to combine this, except... Actually, I think this is just going to be a basic stack. Oh, but without the trains. So if we did this, it's not going to... Oh, it will... It's going to matter which one's on. No, it won't. No, it won't. So what if I just did this? I threw that like that, that like that. What am I doing? Oh, it's the... Where am I cutting? I'm lost. I'm lost. So yeah, this is... Let's back up. Let's back up. There isn't actually anything coming out of there. What I want to do, instead of cutting, I want to do a split. We'll do a split up. Kind of like this. If I get that, one side of this is going to be the bottom section, which needs to have the pin. And then we will have the top section, which does not need to have the pin. So let's put in platform for push pins on one half of this. Then we can do the stacking, I believe. That go across like that. Feed this into there. Oh, no, it didn't. That's not. No, no, no. Okay, did we create anything down there? Let's skip. Oh. Let's try this again. Copy that there. Do this one at a time instead of dragging across. All right, and let's have a look. Do we get what we want? No, because this is not turning green. What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh, it's opposite of how did I get that mixed up? I guess these shapes kind of look, both sides kind of look the same. Yeah. Yep. Take that out, and that should have been the other way around. So we'll want to do a platform pin, push pin on this side actually. And we'll connect these together. Go over here. Do we get our green notice? Ah, there we are. Nice. And then I'll just connect all these in here. And I think that'll be the next step. We'll let that run and see what's going to be involved in the next step after this, which looks like just throwing a circle on top. Oh, but let's not let myself run away without actually connecting that train. I think I already collected some circles over here. So this is some circles that are all ready to go. They're loaded on the bottom. So we'll have that go towards this area, and we'll deal with that once we unlock the next thing. Just realizing this is not set up nice at all. Actually not reading these things or pushing these things in. There we go. This might get a result a little bit quicker. There we go. So that one done. I think I should check. Is there any pins underneath this circle? That's just a plain circle. This next step, a little bit concerned of what's going to be involved with that. But you know what? Let's get this next one done and worry about that later. So we want to take this and have this. This is going to be our bottom. So we'll do a train load interlaced on the bottom. Have that go in from this direction. That looks good. Connect those in the right place. Send the circles into here. Then we'll do some stacking. Put that around like that. We'll have the train go into this guy. And we can do our belt compress. And then we will do our train load times 8. Assuming this is all right. And then an engine shape times 8. Send that towards the vortex. Okay, I'd like to see some green before I walk away. So those are set up, ready to be picked up and then dropped off over here. Why is no train stopping? What am I missing here? The circles are clearly making its way. That is a quick stop. There are... Oh, do we have the wrong train type? Is this liquid and... No, that is all just shapes. I'm a little confused. Let me stare at this for a little bit and I'll see if I can figure out what's going on. I don't know what happened. Oh, I'm loading them both on the... okay, I get it. Oh, shoot. I'm loading these guys on the bottom, and that's incorrect. I should have been loading this on the top. And I can fix that by having my stop go right there. Whoops, messed that up. So the circles are in the wrong place, unfortunately. Which means I might do with some clearing. I don't need to clear those. Probably redoing the trains. Respawn. And respawn. That means everything that was pushed in the wrong place in terms of the circles anyways. So that would be over here. Let's just do a big old clear. Okay, so get rid of it all. Let's try this again. We have some circles on our trains. There we go. Circles making their way over here. So now we should be picking up the alternate shapes. That's looking better. That's being dropped off over here. And do we have our... and we've got our green. Fantastic. So now we work on the minion's mouth. Let me just check, make sure there's no pins underneath that. That's just a blue circle, half circle. So we're loading in 4 circles here. We're going to be able to split that to make 8. Before we do that, though, we're going to make them blue. So here we're going to load in a little bit of blue. Going to do some painting. Then let's do a split up so we can double this. So this is going to give us 8. Then we're going to ideally orient that such that the mouth is towards the bottom. I'll have to let this run through to see how that's going to work out. First blue circle's going in, and I can see that, okay, if I orient myself north, this side is going to need a counterclockwise. That's going out here, so I guess the other side will need clockwise, but counterclockwise for here, 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 and here. The other side is going to need the just the clockwise turn. That should give us a bunch of mouse. Let's just put in some belts. Oh, zoom out a bit. A bunch of belts just to make sure that the got what looks like our mouse. That looks like the correct thing. Okay, so let's do a belt spread times 8. Put that right there. Then we'll do a train load interlaced. So this is going to be at on the top. So load shape interlaced at the top times 8. Have that go there. We'll want to put in some an engine. That's going to be 16. We'll put that right there. So that's going to pick these guys up. Then we're going to want to put that on top of our what's becoming a minion. So that would be over here, would it not? Maybe go from like this. Get rid of that little section. Go up like that. And then we're going to want to pick up our result here. So we'll do a train load. Interlace. This is going to be at the bottom. So we'll take this train. Which one is that? This is this guy, the half circles. Send that into there. We'll do some stacking. Times 8. Like that. And I think that is our result. So let's compress this together. We'll do our load and send that off. Train load. Shape times 8. The engine times 8. Send that to the vortex. And maybe I have the correct thing. That just needs to be connected right there. Got looks like mouse going in. Let's have a zoom in, or I walk away and want to see some green. I do not see green. Uh-oh. Did I not orient it? I put the mouth the right way, but maybe I didn't do the body the right way, and they're being combined in what looks like a very funny minion. Shoot. What's best to do? So effectively, this guy should have been, if I look north, we should have done a clockwise turn here. Maybe just before we send this out, we'll do a clockwise before we load into that. So let's get that. Maybe just take this. Cut that, push that back by 1. Oh, that's a little bit of a shame. Maybe do this just so that we can get that rail into there. We can fit in some, it was a clockwise. It's going to fix this, right? That across. Send that into there. Let's have a look. We've got our, all right, pointing north. That looks like proper minion. Now let's go ahead. Oh, zoom out a bit. Get that into there. There. We'll see if this does the right thing or not. Guys, just realize that this circle here not loading correctly, so that should take care of that. I don't know why I went underneath there. I had the vision I was going to do some mining on top, but okay, there, that should fix our missing circles. Okay, so let's unlock this. We've got our minion, and this is how I think we're going to do it. I'm just getting a random shape. I don't think it's going to matter what, so just pulling this in that happens to be close by. It needs to be a full shape, I think. That one has a hole in it. What I'm doing is, actually I have to remind myself we're just doing an orientation there, so the squares and circles, though that really shouldn't matter. And then I'm splitting them into squares and circles. And then I'm doing clockwise and counterclockwise such that everything is up. So this is the opposite side of the mouth, or the northern side, I guess. Again, doesn't matter about the shape, and we're just throwing pins on it. So these are a bunch of shapes that are only on the northern side that have pins. And if I throw that on top, such that we go past that layer limit, I'm thinking we're going to be just left with pins. So now I'm taking the train, I'm loading that on the top of the train, and I'm going to be sending that into here. So I'm going to need a train load shape on, this is going to be the bottom. And we'll have that go like that. And we will, oh, hold on, get that connected from here down into here. We'll do some stacking and really leave myself enough room, but I can easily just do that out here. So we need a stack times 8. Push that in like that. Actually, maybe we want to go further over just for the engines that I can foresee we're going to need here in a bit. Line that up like that. Push this guy into there. And I think this is our result. Jumping the gun to get a second, but if that's the case, we'll compress. We will do a load, so train load shape times 8. In our engine times 8, like that. Now I just need to verify that we are actually producing the right thing. And we are. Oh, there it is, our minion. And we've got our minion going in 8,000, 9,000, 10. So after this, we've got a milestone that we've got to do. There is our 12,000. Okay, there are no tasks left until I get the milestone. So it kind of looks almost like a minion-ish type thing, just no eyes. But that's next time. This is Jared playing Shapez 2. See you then.